So now the final event on the track, the women's 5,000 metres.
It is indeed, yes. Thanks, Phil. What a race this promises to be. One or two major stars absent, choosing to focus upon the Olympic Games in Paris in about 8 weeks' time. But 22 starters here in what is a very, very open field. Amy Eloise Neal there for Great Britain, former European indoor champion in Torun back in 2021. Costa, she could be one of the favourites. She's in great form, fourth in a super fast Oslo 3000 last week. 8:26 she ran there, the Dutch athlete. In that Oslo 3000, by the way, the first 12 set personal bests. It was an astonishing race. Hannah Nuttall, who lost her father earlier on this year, she will be running with a new inspiration, I'm sure. Most recent race 2 weeks ago, she set a personal best of 14:52. Anything up to under 15 minutes is special. Grovdal, what a fabulous cross-country runner, and she too, she was in that Oslo 3000 last week, where she ran supremely, 8:27 for a big personal best for the Norwegian 33-year-old. She's a brilliant cross-country runner, strong over 10,000. Marta Garcia, now she might be favourite. Sixth in Oslo last week in 8:29. She's had a fabulous indoor season in Boston back in January. She ran 14:46 for 5,000 metres. Watch Battocletti, better known as a cross-country star. European junior cross-country champion twice, and then European under-23 cross-country champion twice. Fifth in the World Championships 5K on the road back in Riga last October. And Korn goes in this one as well. Agathe Korn, just 19 years old. She's knocking on the door, breaking 15 minutes. That was last year. This year, only 15:18. But the key message is that this is a very open race. It's hard to predict who will take this one. 8 athletes in this field have broken 15 minutes. That's the benchmark, really, of international class 5,000 metre running. Will it be slow and tactical? One or two athletes here might like it to be at a reasonable tempo, so the speed, endurance and strength is tested. Grovdal amongst them. Watch out for Blomqvist too, the 23-year-old Finn. Ran in Oslo last week, 8:32 there, a big PB for her. And 5,000 metres these days, the way it's come into the range of middle distance runners, 1,500 runners running world-class 5,000s these days because of the advances in footwear technology. It's almost a middle distance race, frankly, certainly on the men's side and to a lesser extent on the women's. But this doesn't look like it's going to be quick. Big bunch there, what, about 15 at the front of the field. Nobody really keen to take it out. So we'll see how it goes. Machado at the front, Battocletti right in her shoulder, Grovdal running wide up in lane 2. She's not worried about the extra metres at this pace. Maybe Jodie McCann of Ireland, the 24-year-old, can be inspired by that mixed relay gold. What a race that was. It's so enjoyed watching that one and listening to the call by the fellows here. Sonia O'Sullivan, of course, will be an inspiration too. She won this title in Budapest back in 1998 when Sonia was in her pomp. Grovdal hits the front. No great surprise there. She will want to keep this reasonably honest, I think, the Norwegian. Remember, 15 minutes, as I say, is really the benchmark of world-class 5,000 metre running, so 3 minutes per kilometre. My math's just about to take that in, and that means, I understand, 72 seconds per lap. So we shall see how this goes. In second place there is Machado, Mariana Machado, World University Games winner over 5,000 last year, the Portuguese. Her personal best, though, is only 15:15. That was last year. This year, she's only run 15:29. However, I thought last week that Grovdal hadn't been in great shape in her previous races, and that she came out and had a fantastic run in front of the home crowd at the Bislett Games. So you can read too much into recent form, recent races. Athletes sometimes peak specifically for a race, and don't worry about the previous races. You don't have to look at recent form to get an accurate idea of how they're going. But this is a big pack, as I say, 22 in a 5,000 metre race. Satan sitting right at the back at the moment for the other Norwegian in this one. And Amelie Satan, the 26-year-old, she's only run 15:42 this year, but I'm loath to write her off, frankly. There have been a few surprises this year in distance races. So Grovdal then making sure it's reasonably healthy up in front. Battocletti in third place behind Machado. Running wide, there's Blomqvist. Watch her, in good form, as I said. Run 4:04 for 1500. She's pretty useful over the metric mile as well. And Hannah Nuttall, well, wouldn't it be great to see her have a big run here? Silver medalist or second placer in the European Team Championships last year over 3,000 metres. Over 5,000 metres, excuse me. And we know she's in good form too. She ran 4:05 last year for 1,500 metres.
Well, I'm keeping an eye on Hannah Klein, the European indoor 3,000 metre record holder, European champion, I should say. Not going to anoint her with the record just yet. She's lying back in fourth place at the moment and looking very confident, very comfortable. And she's got good speed as well. She's got great pedigree, over 1,500 metres. Looking very comfortable in these conditions. That's the German in fourth, but this is a really good quality field, and as Tim was saying, I think most pundits would say this is very open. Nadia Battocletti, of course, though, will be inspired by what we've seen already this evening. That surprise mixed 4x400 metre relay silver medal for Italy. Less of a surprise, but still a great delight to this crowd. That gold medal, the very first gold medal of these championships, to Anatella Palmisano in the walk at the start of tonight's programme. It's really boiling up to being a very, very interesting race, and they've already descended into single file.
Well, Grovdal's been leading virtually since the gun, but the opening few hundred metres was slow. The first kilometre was 3:01.7, so give or take a couple of bits and bobs, about 15-minute tempo, but it's quick enough to reduce it to single file. Satan's still at the back for Norway, and they're stretching out now, and two packs beginning to separate. And Grovdal is a very, very canny racer. She came through late in the World Cross Country Championships back in March, and she tends to judge her races just right. Very good at optimizing her results, is Grovdal. Often performs above and beyond what you might expect. Garcia, I mentioned, is a real danger. 8:29, that 3,000 recently. And she's run 8:38 indoors. She had a great indoor season. Nobody prepared to move up alongside Grovdal at the moment and give her any help. I think they feel that they're moving well enough. They'll go through 2,000 when they get up to the far end of this back straight. You look at big names who have won this title in years gone by. Klosterhalven, of course, pulling out of these championships just recently. She was the champion in Munich back in 2022 from Yasmin Chan and Eilish McColgan. None of those three are here. Well, 2,000 metres, 5:58.86, so a slight acceleration in that second kilometre. It was about a 2:57 from Grovdal. She's just keeping it very honest, and I wonder whether or not this next kilometre will reflect a slight acceleration as well. Looking up at the big screen, getting feedback of what's going on behind her. She will see that they're queuing up behind her, 4 or 5, maybe 6 of the big names. And a Nuttall at the moment back in about 9th place, the best of the Brits.
Well,
sorry, go on, Phil.
I was going to say, interestingly, Grovdal, I would have expected to perhaps see her also on the start list for the 10,000 metres, but she's decided to skip that, unlike some of the women who are to the fore at the moment, like Battocletti and Del Bueno. The two Italians will be in action, we assume, later on in the week. They're going to try and double, but Grovdal's got absolutely nothing to lose. She doesn't need to hold back at all. Of course, she's had some fantastic results over the years at 10,000 metres. This has caught me by surprise a little bit that she decided to drop down to 5,000, but she's really doing a fantastic job at the front at the moment of that leading group, and it's looking as though there's 3 more women starting to break off the back, and there's about 8 in front, back to Del Bueno.
Well, you say it's a surprise she's dropped down to 5,000. She's got that fabulous 3,000 in her legs from just 8 days ago, so she has deceptive speed endurance to Grovdal, but you're right, they're beginning to struggle. Nuttall second from the back of that second group. It's in the middle of that trio to left of picture. Needs to get around the athlete in front of her and try and connect with his front group. 20 is Ferrero of Spain, best of 15:23. That was in Bergen just a couple of weeks ago. But Battocletti just sitting in there and enjoying the ride at the moment. Costa likewise in third place. Garcia there in that yellow and orange strip of Spain, which takes a little bit of getting used to. We've seen Spain in red for about the last, I don't know, what, 300 years, something like that, and all of a sudden they're in orange and yellow. But I like it.
Yeah.
I like the Spanish kit, and I like the way Grovdal is gradually wearing them down here. Coming up towards 3,000 meters. It hasn't been super quick, but if this one goes under 3 minutes again, this kilometer, then we'll see a sub 9 minute clocking as they go through the line. Looks like it's going to be a click or two under 3,000 meters in 9 minutes. She does look unstressed, doesn't she, Grovdal? You can see her looking up the screen, figuring it out, trying to gauge her effort, spreading it out correctly. There it is, 8:55.91. Nicely done. That's about a 2:57 again.
And equally, Battocletti on her shoulder doing exactly the same thing, looking over her shoulder at the big screen. And she's just tracked Grovdal every inch of the way around this stadium, Olympic Stadium track. Maureen Costa as well. Costa, I think, also probably just have to check whether she's going to double later on in the week as well, but doing well at the moment, Costa. Battocletti, though, staggering talent. I mean, she's won so many under 20, under 23 cross-country titles. And then, of course, in Brussels, followed Grovdal home at the European Cross-Country Championships back in December.
And she can run on the track too, Battocletti. Make no mistake, she was a European under-23 champion back in 2021 at 5,000. Won very comfortably there by some 7 seconds. Blomqvist just tucking in there, enjoying the ride at the moment. And Izzy Fry leading that second group, chasing group, trying hard to stay in touch, or at least get back in touch with this lead pack, which is, what, 8 strong now. And Grovdal just stretching them out. Little gaps appearing. There's 1 or 2 athletes, I suspect, towards the back of this group of 8 who are kind of redlining right now, working hard.
Yeah, Del Bueno, I mean, she's a 4:03 1,500 meter runner, but she's looking as though she's well out of her comfort zone. So too Machado, the Portuguese athlete. And we'll get confirmation, but I think Grovdal slightly ratcheted up the pace as well. And indeed, Del Bueno and Machado now starting to get separated, and it's becoming a leading group of 6 with Grovdal, Battocletti, Costa, Garcia, Blomqvist and Klein going all the way back.
Yeah, they're dropping away. Look at that, 3 peeling off the back. She's getting her reward for this hard work. I just sense that she's got a feeling she can win this. Grovdal, she hasn't won a major international track title before. Tonight could be her opportunity. She's 33 years old now. Very, very smart racer. And her lifetime best, although it was a couple of years ago, 14:31, makes her about the quickest in the race, I have to say, from the list of personal bests. And her record at major championships is quite fabulous. Back in 2016, remember those championships in Amsterdam just before the Rio Olympics? She took a bronze medal in the 10,000. 2 years later, in those brilliant championships, European championships in Berlin, she took a bronze in the 3,000. She went to Rio back in 2016, finished 7th in the 5,000, really mixing it with the best of the East Africans. She's got, I guess in a way, she's operating below the radar a little bit because she doesn't get too many major track medals, but she always is up there in the top 6 or 8 in major championships, and she's brought this down to 5 now, and they are hanging on. And I think if any of them was really comfortable, they'd move up onto her shoulder and maybe give her a little nudge with the elbow as if, so is that all you got? But they've gone through 3,000 in 11:51, so that is about a 2:56, that 4th kilometre. Slight acceleration. She's gone 3:01, 2:57, 2:57, 2:56. It's a wonderful, classical way of wearing down your opposition, just winding it up. And 2 laps to run, and Grovdal unchallenged at the front at the moment. But this penultimate lap, I feel, very important Phil, because she's got to take the sting out of one or two of the big kickers behind her. She's got to make this lap really count, but still save a bit herself.
Yes, Blomqvist at the back of that group of 5. She's a 4:04 runner, and she has good credentials over 1,500 metres. If she's still there at the end, she could definitely be challenging if it's a sprint for the line. But Blomqvist starting to struggle as well now, and I think if she's followed your tactics, if she could have heard you, Tim, Grovdal is just starting to ratchet up. It's the long run for home with just over 500 metres to go. Battocletti now pushing her hard, though. Battocletti getting up there. And did I see her just glance over her left shoulder there just to see where Battocletti was? Now, of course, coming up to the bell, and it's Grovdal and Battocletti getting away from the rest.
Grovdal has done almost the full job. One athlete accompanying her. She goes through the bell there in about 13:33. Now she's got to really dig deep and make every metre of this final lap count. Battocletti looks comfortable. She's had the most perfect pacemaker for nearly 12 laps now. She's tucked in behind the Norwegian, but Grovdal is tough, gritting her teeth, still glancing up there. Costa back in 3rd place, battling, trying to get away from Garcia and Blomqvist for the bronze medal. There she is, but she's 25 metres down and into the last 200 metres, and you know that everyone in Norway will be punching the air here and screaming at their TVs if they're not here in the arena. She's grimacing hard. Grovdal. Battocletti looks ominously calm in front of the home crowd. Looks cool. Swings wide. 100 to go. Changes gear, and she's away. And this crowd in the stadium, only a few thousand strong, roars with delight as she pulls well clear. Grovdal will get another minor medal, but for Italy, it's yet another gold on this first day. Battocletti wins the 5,000 in 14:33. It's a brilliant run. All the hard work done by Grovdal, of course, but that is quite supreme running from Grovdal and Battocletti in particular. It's a new championship record to boot for Battocletti, 14:35.29, and just checking. Well, for Battocletti, it's a personal best by over 6 seconds, and she owes it all to the Norwegian who runs her season's best. And Garcia, well, she came through for that national record to catch Costa at the line. Boy, oh boy, it was close for 3rd and 4th. But what a brilliant race, and all down to the gutsy front running of the Norwegian.
Indeed, what a thrilling finale to bring this first day to a close. Well, we've had 5 finals, and 2 of the gold medals have gone to Italy. But I would think an even louder roar for Nadia Battocletti than the one you heard earlier in the evening for Antonella Palmisano. Oh, what a great hat.
Phil,
That'll be on sale tomorrow.
I don't think even you'd wear that hat for a bet.
I'd wear it for a gold medal, though.
14:35.29 for Battocletti. Grovdal smiling, but you know that smile is tinged with disappointment. She could not have done any more, and Battocletti was a very worthy winner. She pulled away by some almost 3.5 seconds in the last 80 metres or so. Garcia, a national record, 14:44, and you think of all the great Spanish 5,000 metre runners over the years, and there you can see Blomqvist 5th, Klein 6th, Del Buono 7th, another great Italian run there, Madeleine of France 8th, and the Brits 9th and 10th, Fry and Nuttall, just outside 15 minutes. They will be a little bit disappointed with that, although is he Fry? Well, a personal best. You can't ask any more than that from an athlete in a major championship, than to give their all and run quicker than ever before.
So here we see the highlights and that terrific race unfold, the early stages, and of course Karolina Grovdal leading for the vast majority of it, leading for around 4,900 metres of it until Battocletti went through the gears. At this stage, well, there's still about 5 women in contention. Machado, very good runner, just found the pace too hot, decides to step to the track. Grovdal gritting her teeth as she's coming down the home straight. As we've said so often, looking up at the big screen, but we could also see Battocletti doing it. And off the final bend, Battocletti just rounding her. She just knew exactly what she needed to do. Grovdal had nothing left in the tank coming into the home straight, having done all the work. And Battocletti had one more gear. Well, the Olympic Stadium isn't full to capacity tonight, but every single person who was here raised their voices and cheered her home.
confirmation that Nadia Battocletti was a spectacular winner of the 5,000 metres to close this first day of action here in the Olympic Stadium. 15:35.29, a championship record from Norway's Grovdal and Spain's Marta Garcia. Those the medalists. And there's the rest of them. The other Norwegians in 11th and 14th have some consolation. Their teammate gets Norway on the medal table in the best possible